On that far side. Two real characters here tonight, aren't they, coaches? John Keir, Batley and Carl Harrison. They're kind of people you love being in the company of, talking rugby league with.
I think they're exceptional coaches as well. You know, in many other areas they would be at the top table, if you like, in Super League, and have been, and would probably might still be.
Here comes the restart then for the second half. Steve Tyrer putting a big boot to ball, and Batley this time having to do the hard work from deep inside their own half. He's going to have a big task on his shoulders, isn't he? Johnny Campbell, as the night goes on, and he's proved himself already very much adept at bringing this ball free, as Batley make it towards the 30-metre mark. Early stages of this second period. It's collected by Flanagan from dummy half, taken on by Daniel Fleming. Good carry by the youngster, and he manages to take it just beyond the 40-metre mark, and a decent set here as Flanagan tries to make the most of a little bit of flat-footedness behind that ruck and trundles another 10-15 metres forward. It's a good set here. They've still got a couple of tackles to play as Fleming drives it in, and they'll find themselves finishing on the 40-metre mark with a kick to come. So how good is this now? It's going to be important that Black puts it pinpoint. High it goes. Fieldhouse underneath it has caught it safely enough, and Halifax starts.
He had to adjust there at the death as well, because he's got underneath the ball, so the ball looked like it was going over the top of him, and he's reached back and come up with an excellent catch in the end. It was a great opening set from Batley.
Yeah, good first set, got well over the halfway line and put almost an attacking kick in there, putting the fullback under pressure.
So Halifax's turn to respond here if they can. 30 metres out from their own line, but coming down the hill, of course, in this second half. Myth or no myth, it's still a contributing factor, this particular slope. Who can make the most of it one way or the other? Halifax at the moment trying to just barge their way down. A big blasting effort coming in, and there's going to be held up just inside his opponent's half. Collected and moved left again, and quickly kicked away down this field by Morel, and it bounces once, bounces twice. Is it going to go to play? Yes, it is, eventually, and it'll be a tap back on the 20-metre mark, which they're going to take quickly as well. Greenwood. Campbell it was, wasn't he, who's run it out, and he's going to be tackled just short of the 30-metre mark.
Been impressive tonight, hasn't he, Campbell?
He certainly has. He's very quick out of getting the ball back in play, getting to the 20-metre line and making an easy 10 metres. Off the back of that, they get a penalty for a lazy arm.
Danny Moore was the man on the end of it. He would have felt that, but it is a penalty for his side. So a little bit of the pain is taken out as a result. Swinging from Warrancy.
Payback from Warrancy, I think. The payback from earlier on.
Penalty has taken Batley 10 metres inside the Halifax half, and here comes Davis with that first drive, solidly forward again. Dealt with by two and put on his backside, so up he gets to try and play this quickly. Flanagan now on again for Fleming to hurl his body into this as well. 4 defenders there, 2 tackles gone. Batley making an impression here. Hemingway standing and waiting, first man out on this right hand side. Here he is now, a couple of dummies by him, throws it back to Black. Black puts it into the arms, the chasing arms that came up from Bretherton. It's still kept alive here. It's a big man, Keegan Hurst, twists and turns in the tackle, almost getting the offload away. Applegarth was alongside him, but he couldn't get the pass away. Instead it's Flanagan who stands and waits to this right hand side. Black trying to open up a gap in that Halifax defence. It's gone to ground, it's picked up by Halifax, and a chance for them to clear as well. Untidy stuff.
Black was trying to release Greenwood on the old shoulder ball. You know, he comes in, steps in and just throws the ball out there, not quite on the same wavelength, and Halifax pick up the spoils, and the pressure's off.
Here's Sharif, bundled up and put down. Good turn and a good offload. It took a bit of a bounce, but it's the defence has got another tackle to make here. Not too much ground to make, but another tackle for the defenders to make. Just taking a little more fuel from the tank here. And we're coming blasting forward again. Decent hit by him, but he doesn't make too much of an impression. He's put down, still short of the halfway line. Left, Hemingway through the hands. It's been dropped by Tyra. A little bit of a hold by him to make sure there was no advantage to be played. And it'll be head and feet to Batley.
At the end of the day, he might have given a penalty away there, because he impeded Black here. If he picks that ball up, he's gone.
Yeah. Well, could have had a kick, couldn't he?
Given the Oscar performance as well, hasn't he, Ben Black? Penalty, give me a penalty.
He's looking for it, wasn't he?
So here's Black with the feed. And the first man in there is Greenwood. He's not been given too much of an opportunity to run tonight, has he, Miles Greenwood? He's been fairly well matched. Here's Davis. Four again, just spinning him around and pushing him back, but he's got the offload away. But the defenders were still there to make sure the second tackle came in. Davis has pushed back another 10 metres without the ball in his hand.
He's got up and carried the next one though, Dave, hasn't he? You know, brave kid there.
Here comes Flanagan, standing at dummy half again. Black just to his right. He's the man who collects here, inside, for a big push by Daniel Fleming. And again, they're creeping closer, but they've only got a couple of tackles left in the bank again here. Black once more, thought about the kick first time, then put a little dummy in, then puts a lovely kick into the corner, which is asking a few questions of Fieldhouse, who's managed to hold it up strongly. And again, they start just the right side of that line.
He did well there, did Fieldhouse, and there's what I was saying in the first half, when a winger or a backfield person has to sit down. If you watch this, how he turns his body, gets his shoulders hunched and round so they can't barrel him into the in goal. Sit down, and he did sit down.
And 3 or 4 times in this game, they have just started on that right side, haven't they, of that goal line. Could have been a very different game here tonight. And they've not managed to get themselves out of that trouble.
John Keir will be very happy, you know, happier of the two coaches at the opening couple of sets in this second half. They've asked Halifax question of coming off their own line, and they're winning that battle of the field position at the minute.
Here comes Johnny Campbell, having taken that kick from Ashall. And it's a start on the 30-metre mark. Keegan Hurst again, taking it in. He towers above them all, doesn't he? He's like a big Gulliver in amongst all those Lilliputians.
I wonder if his nickname's Hightower.
This now is Greenwood. Greenwood, the fullback, running across the line, looking for any perceived weakness here, trying to make a bit of space as well for himself if he can, or maybe one of his teammates try to take it on. 3 defenders waiting for him. Black picks up from dummy half. Here comes the man who's playing in centres tonight, Breverton. He's just on the 40-metre mark. Still only a couple of tackles left here. Back to Black once more. Driven in by Applegarth. Applegarth puts his head into it and tries to drive in. One-time Wakefield man, of course. Applegarth picked up by Flanagan down that blind side with a kick to touch. It's just going to go up, but behind that in-goal area, so it will be a tap back on the 20.
Oh, good idea, but poor execution in the end, because that gives Halifax it's probably the furthest down the field that they've started with a restart from Batley.
And a chance to get a bit of momentum going here as well. Penalty for not square at the play of the ball.
I think it was the right call from the referee.
Have a look at this. Davis trying to get a hold of him. Hasn't got back to his position. Trying to make the tackle. So the penalty gives Halifax a tap restart 15 metres inside their opponent's half. What a chance here for them to make hay in this set of 6. Here comes Robinson. Made the mistake towards the end of that first half that cost his side. Dummy half, it's Hanforth. Feeding it on again for Ambler to have a big trundle forward. The ball's gone free. There are claims it was hooked. The referee says it was dropped. And a mistake by Halifax has just handed a bit of relief to Batley.
They just let them off the hook, really. It's the first opportunity they've had in 8 or 9 minutes of this half, and Ambler carries the ball in really, really strong. He has done, but there's a claim that it's been ripped and reefed and doesn't get the call.
It's a tough one for the referees there, isn't it? That ripping and reefing. You sometimes wonder whether they're making a guess at it. Obviously they've got a better view than we have, but it's such a difficult one to judge, isn't it, very often, whether it was stolen or whether it came out. I'm sure Ian Smith, he's been very quiet tonight, hasn't he, Ian Smith? We've not had need to refer to him in the truck for any of the video referee decisions. Only had 2 tries. Hemingway up at dummy half. Davis helps it on. Keegan Hurst caught in possession, but still tries to push forward again. Trying to get the arms free, can't do so, but make sure that it takes a lot of energy to put him down.
It takes a lot of energy, doesn't it? You can see the effort that you have to put in.
Here comes the kick from Hemingway. That looks a good one. It skims the sideline, but again it's into the in-goal area, and just a little overcooked that time. Tap back on the 20 again.
It's a little bit like a Polaroid image of the first half, other than Batley's kicks have not been as efficient or as excellent as Halifax's were in the opening stanza.
Here's Sharif. He's going to have a go from dummy half, runs into a couple of willing defenders. Doesn't make too much progress, but plays it quickly enough, and on they go again. And here comes Ambler again with another big effort from the big man.
He's impressive, the big man, isn't he? He's really, really impressive. Carts onto the ball at 100 mile an hour and, you know, takes some stopping.
He's certainly ramped up this second half, hasn't he?
Handforth stands and waits. Back it comes again to this left-hand side. Morel drops it off. It's a little flick up by Devorty as they keep it alive here. Handforth again, scurrying across. Battling defenders had him sized up. Make sure the tackle was a good one. And here comes the last now. Oh, duck. And eventually the kick away by Anthony Thackeray. And has he put too much on it? He has. It bounces out of play for a tap again on the 20.
Again, it's just got a little bit scruffy, hasn't it? It seems to me that both teams have gone away from what they were doing in the first half, or the efficiency of what they were doing in the first half, and expecting one player to break the game open. It might end up being that way. One half a break or a break might just break this game open, but lack of patience. There's only 10 minutes gone in this half. You'll stick with the process if you've got one.
Still a half an hour to go as Davis again spinning it forward. Oh, he's tried to offload it and he's just about got away with it. So picked up by Fleming off the floor. That was the right refereeing decision. It was all backwards, no knock-ons. Taking it on. Little scurry from dummy half by Flanagan, who's seen a bit of a gap there and almost making his way through. It's causing a little alarm in that Halifax. Oh, and he's hurt himself. He has hurt himself. And you know it's a bad one when the opposing player stands up and signals to the bench, get on quickly. What do you reckon here?
I think he's hyperextended his knee. I think he gets pulled back and he's gone back. There he goes. He's gone back over on his knee there, hasn't he? Ouch. He can spot a gap, can George Flanagan, and he's off at the races and just gets dragged back from behind and pulls his knee back. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, you could see the pain etched on his face straight away. Just there. Just there.
Medial ligament would be my guess.
And how long's that?
It depends how bad it is.
Oh, he's okay. Was it him that just played it?
He'll be sore tomorrow.
Yeah, he's still limping around now, going into the half.
Well, he's gone from medial ligament to a bit of a bang on the knee, so that's not a bad recovery, is it? But he's okay. So all that early fear is wiped away. There's a big kick and a big tester, but it's taken well enough by Fieldhouse, who has a look up, sees there's a bit of space to run into, runs into the shoulder of John Davis. Crunch. Down he goes. He won't be doing that again for a while. Halifax trying to battle it away. And they're finding it hard. Look who's right in the middle of the defending again. Davis once more, so they shift it left, or at least threaten to shift it left. Can't get through. Batley goes the cry. There's the big hit. I think it was Fleming, actually, who made the initial contact. And they're flying out here. Davis jumping up, trying to make a tackle. Good job he didn't connect because he would have been high. And in the end, Applegarth is the man who drags them down. Halifax look left again here. Scott Morel with a pass, a good pass out wide, but well read by Black. It's been dropped by Tyra, and again it was down to the defence, that wasn't it? That wasn't bad hands.
I'll tell you what, Batley made an unbelievable effort in that set to front load their defensive effort and try and force that kind of error from Halifax, and Black is the one that comes up with it. But this is on the back of 5 really good defensive plays from Batley.
Good read by Ben Black on the right edge there. You know, he's seen that Scott Morell's found Tyra for the try in the first half. He's come out, he's read it, and he's forced the error off Tyra there.
So, well, he's looking disappointed, Steve Tyra, but it wasn't entirely his fault, was it? It was really good defending, and Batley now have the chance to build again inside their opponent's half, and Greenwood just asking initially whether they can stop him. They can. They've slowed it down as well as stopping it. So Batley have to rev it up once again. Here comes Danny Moore on that left-hand flank. Started the game on the bench, of course, as did Flanagan, who's here at dummy half once more. Hemingway gets it on. Drive in hard by Rowe. Here's Flanagan. It's Black. It's taken on by Bretherton. Tries a little twist and turn but can't get away. So Walton stands and waits. Back to the middle and Black. Flanagan. Oh, he's done well with the pass away again, and some good defending from Halifax to make sure that didn't see them ripped open. But here comes the last. Here comes Black, inside ball. Applegarth grasping at it, but it is just about kept alive. This now is Bretherton. Bretherton with a kick, not exactly the most measured, not exactly the most balanced.
Tony Tonks with a light-footed step to clean up the kick play as well. We don't often see that, do we?
One-handed, the big fella as well.
Yeah.
I think it looked very graceful.
So Halifax survive. It's a game occasionally of missed opportunities here tonight.
I think Batley had opened them up then. There was a pretty of opportunity on Halifax's right-hand side.
It's another big one. Now, is the referee saying this has gone forward? What's he given here? Knocked forward, I think.
I think he's given a knock forward by Batley. Yeah,
yes,
sprung through to Halifax, yeah. Good tackle, whoever it was underneath there.
Oof. Burchett was the man, he just couldn't keep hold, could he? Flanagan, wasn't it, who got underneath his shoulder in.
Batley have certainly raised the stakes defensively at the start of this second half, and they're getting dividends from it. 25
minutes of the game remaining, and it is still very much in the balance here. Batley 8, Halifax 6, as Braychek brings it forward again. He's going to be put down short of the 40, and Halifax sizing up the operation here. Morrell throws it wide right. Thackeray, a little bit of a slip, made that tackle easier. So they've not made too much ground here. Still a couple of tackles left in this set to try and impose themselves inside the Batley half, but failing to do so. The defence is good, so he's going to take a good kick here. Good kick to complete the set, with the advantage of the hill. Morrell with a little chip over the top. That's a clever one. Potts sees it bounce awkwardly, then looks up, and there's a bit of a gap here, but it closes up quickly enough. Defenders are there in numbers. Potts is going nowhere from there.
You need to help me here, Cookie. What do you think? I think Halifax have just lost a little bit of direction, a little bit of organisation. Get themselves back into the game, steady it a little bit, and kick the ball into the corner and rebuild, maybe.
I think so. I think John Keir will definitely be the happier of the two coaches with the opening 15 minutes of the second half. The players as much being at the right-hand side of the field as well, looking. So Batley will be very pleased with the territory advantage that they've gained.
Here's Flanagan collecting from dummy half. Black takes it on, wants to have a run at that defence, but no purchase there. So here comes the last in this set. What will they do? Davis, who will put the kick on. John Davis, he's got a kicking game as well, it seems. Not a bad take by Fieldhouse in the in-goal area. A chance to run it clear, and he's got a lot of space down that right-hand side as well, which closes quickly. But look how many yards they've gained here.
He did well there. Toying with the sideline was young Fieldhouse, and he's done a good job for his team, giving them a bit better start than they've had recently with the ball.
Hanforth at dummy half stands and waits. Braychek.
They just don't seem to be able to find any ruck speed, Halifax, which is nullifying their game.
Clattering in once again. Batley's defenders hanging on. Tonks will play it. So this time it's Ambler who comes running on. Little step by him as well, almost taking him through, almost ripping through that Batley defence. That was 5, here comes 6. Hanforth spins it out wide. Thackeray puts it high. Steepler again. Fullbacks underneath this and has swallowed it up nicely enough, Greenwood. But he's immediately met by defenders.
Well, slightly better from Halifax. They've got the kick away after a few plays. Let's see if they can restrict Batley's territory now, because you have to say that Batley have done it easy, if that's the right expression, up this hill.
Here's Greenwood. Well, it ain't finished yet. You'd rather fancy there'd be more points here tonight, wouldn't you, with 22 minutes left to play. 8-6 the scoreline at the moment, so...
Well, let's not forget the quality of both sides' defensive. Structurally, they look good. They're not missing many tackles. There's not many opportunities because the ruck speed is slow, so your defences are generally set, even though they're having to reload. It might be the last 10 minutes when this game's broken open.
Here's Ben Black on the 6. Will kick out from dummy half. That's not a bad kick. Has he found touch? No, he's not, but he's forced Fieldhouse to stretch close to that line. Potts just pointing on the outside side. Try and take me on the outside if you can. It's been lost here by Fieldhouse. Penalty though.
Yeah. Big help to Halifax there. Massive help by the referee giving the penalty.
If they hadn't got this penalty, it might be just the pendulum had swung the way, because it's been all Batley's energy. I'm not saying they're on top of the game, but they look on top of their energy.
Yeah.
They needed that penalty, did Halifax.
Touch judge on this near side, I think, was the one who the casting eye. What do you reckon?
Oh, he was close enough, wasn't he? If he doesn't get it right, then we're all in trouble.
Hanford at dummy half. Halifax trying to take it on if they can. Inside Batley. Well, I think the referee was going to give another penalty there, wasn't he? Yes, he has.
To give it now.
He kind of had second opinion there, didn't he, George Stokes? He had a look at it. Oh, and in they come. Well, Alex Rowe came in and swung an arm. I'm not sure he connected.
Headbutt to start with as well. I'm not sure who threw that one, but big Sam Barlow's having a little look.
Well, he's won the ground there, so he deserves to get up and play the ball. He gets tampered with. There's the penalty. Bit of a push. You don't need to do that. Oh. Well, that's a headbutt, isn't it?
Byron Smith.
Smith headbutt. Yeah.
Well, the referee thought about giving a penalty, I think, for that.
Yeah, it was a flop, and he should have given the penalty. And then you think Sam Barlow thinks it's Byron Smith. Byron Smith's nothing to do with it, and get that back in here. And then it was Alex Rowe came in and threw a left that missed by a mile. Let's have another look here. Well, that was the penalty there. Brereton comes in and it should have been penalised for that. Barlow carries on. Byron Smith headbutts his chest, and then Alex Rowe throws a big haymaker that doesn't. It's closest to hitting the ref, to be honest.
The referee's put it on report. George Stokes decided that the disciplinary panel can have a look at that in midweek, and if there is any further action to be taken, let them take that action. As it is, 13 against 13 remain on the field. Halifax have a penalty, and this is about the best position they've had for a while here, Halifax, isn't it?
We've seen this, they haven't had any ball at all in a decent field position. What's the odds on they come down here and score?
Yeah, you wouldn't back against it. You wouldn't back against it.
So here comes the tap from Hanforth. Little dummy thrown as well. Clever stuff from Hanforth, has found a way through. Oh my word, the Batley defence will be red-faced at that, won't they? And he, Paul Hanforth, cannot believe how things opened up. All it took was a tap, a cheeky grin and a dummy, and he found his way to the try line. And Halifax can't believe it.
He did it last year, and he was laughing louder than that, and this is laugh out loud when this is wham, down you go, down the short side, no defenders, don't know where Ben Black's going, leaves the whole massive hole, and it's a walk-in for young Tiger Hanford. Great play though, smart play, you can't take that away from him. He's seen the opportunity. Ben Black decides to go. Walton can't make the space up, and for sober.
Well, you'd be embarrassed if you were a defender though, wouldn't you, Paul?
I think it's pretty poor from the centre Walton there. I think he's got to at least let Hanford get rid of the ball before he moves off to his left-hand side, and he's just giving him too much space. You know, Ben Black's worried about Stephen Tyrone, and obviously it's a walk-in for Hanford. Smart play, but bitterly disappointed, I think, John Keir and obviously the defenders as well.
You have to say it's been all Batley energy-wise at least. Yeah. You know, Halifax haven't struggled on their own line, but they've had no ball at all in that end of the field. They get a penalty, and Paul Hanford thinks, wow, how easy was that?
Yeah, unbelievable. We just saw a shot there of John Keir. I think the body language suggested he wasn't happy. The strong, silent type on that occasion. So here comes a kick from the touchline. It's 10 points to 8. Halifax lead at the moment. This goes over, of course, it's 12 points to 8. Tyra with that kick. Tell you what, that's terrific. Absolutely terrific from Tyra on the sidelines. And he's a slightly happier coach now.
How many times have we seen it, Dave? How many times have we seen it where one team's not in the game and then, you know, a penalty gives them an opportunity, and Hanford's gladly taken the opportunity given to him by the short side defence.
And you're saying there that was Walton rather than Black. Was he Black's man or was he Walton's man?
You can't move on until you stop to whoever's got the ball. What Ben Black's done is overread the fact that he was going to pass the ball. Walton hasn't emptied. They've got a number up on that short side, so Walton has to say, well, I've got the ball, it's tapping it, because we're 2-on-2. Ben Black's every right to have a problem because there's two people to defend. But with 3-on-3, Walton's missed his assignment, obviously, but Ben Black should have a punt on the ball and try and tackle Paul Hanford.
Yeah, and we all then, obviously, you know, Stephen Tyra can't score a try without the ball, and he gets tackled by Ben Black. You know, he's got to make a decision to come in and leave the winger free.
And I think the bottom line is they all just switched off, haven't they? They were expecting to go in the other way, and they'd all just switched off. And by the time they'd switch back on again,
I think the bottom line from John Keir would be, don't presume.
Here comes a kick from behind the 40-metre mark. It's not going to trouble the touchline, or is it? An awkward bounce might take it there, but it's collected easily enough by Campbell to try and run it back. Now, what can he do? And this electrifying tight position, well, he's going to be tackled just about 15 metres away.
Is that a big game, Campbell?
From his own line. They're looking for the hard work here.
Taking it out there. Hanforth's gone high and giving Batley a get-out-of-jail-free card.
George Stokes has a word.
There's the element of discipline we were talking about at half-time. Some of the scruffy play that we see from both sides. He swings the game. It's given Batley a free 30 metres up the hill, hasn't it?
Yeah. He picked Hanforth out there, didn't he? He ran at Hanforth.
I'm not sure that's a penalty. He's dived at his chest. That's not a penalty.
That wasn't. It was the next one that was the penalty, wasn't it? That was the run from Campbell. But I think Hanforth was a bit fired up because of the way he went at Campbell. I think that was why we were looking at that.
I thought he'd given a high shot for that initial challenge.
Oh, here's a lovely ball on the inside, and good, I was going to say good hands from Byron Smith. It needed that, it got a touch. It's another set of 6 here, and they've thrown it away.
It's a free play, I think.
Yes, it was.
Free play.
Yeah, Hanforth kicks it away. They've caught us with that before, haven't they? It's a free play.
Only you this time.
we all fell for it. The other week, Paul wasn't here. We call him innocent, but the other week we all fell for it.
Great break from Smith. Hemingway, then he's inside, but the Fieldhouse makes a play and gets the ball. Here's the free play from Rowe. Gets the ball out, and Paul Hanforth doesn't make that play, then the try stands. But now they get back and get the advantage with the scrum. Big hand for Fieldhouse there as well, wasn't it? Knock on, but had he not got there, that was a try, wasn't it? Oh, absolutely. He's taking a punt on the ball. He had 3 choices. You either get the ball carrier Smith, the poker you think he's going to pass to, or you have a punt on the ball, and that's what he's done. He's come up trumps that
You
time.
just winked at me when I said that. Had I said something daft?
No. It's a fabulous play because he stopped the try.
Yeah.
But you have 3 decisions as a fullback in that. You either clean the ball carrier out if you think he's going to dump it. If you think he's going to pass, you clean the person you think he's going to pass to, or you take a punt on the ball. You're quite right. No, it's a try-saving play. Here's Smith, Byron Smith, the man who very nearly turned try provider a moment ago. Driving it in. Important here for Batley that they get something. They've got another penalty, and I don't suppose they'll be kicking a goal this time because 4 points adrift, and just at the moment got Halifax rocking on their heels. They're talking to for slamming Sam Barlow, and another set for Batley to hammer at this Halifax door if they can. Miles Greenwood can't find a way through. Here's Flanagan at dummy half. This now is Rowe, lifted up and put down. Some good effort by the defenders there. Flanagan stands and waits, wants to get on with this. Off he goes from dummy half, testing them out, but there's resolve. Tony Tonks nearly got caught by the self-same play. So off they come again, back to Hemingway, spins it away to Black. Black along this right-hand side. They're trying to keep it alive, and it was Walton who kept it alive. Here now is Lindsay. Ash Lindsay will have a go. He tries to push his way through.
And Scott Morell's in a lot of trouble on Halifax's left edge if Batley can get the ball there.
Flanagan tried to go from dummy half, bury his way through. Needs someone with vision then, doesn't it, to see that Morell's injured, but they're going to go the other way. They're going to go the other way. Down the middle goes Rowe. Well, they're not going to force their way over, and they won't force their way over because that was tackle 6.
Massive defensive.
Great D. Great D for defence from Halifax there, because they were gone every bit of the day, and a couple of punts from dummy half, probably too many punts from dummy half there. They should have had a pass play at them. As Cookie quite rightly pointed out, Scott Morell was in bits on the fringe.
He's gone. I think he's gone off the back of the field. They've got somebody on, so opportunity missed there for Batley.
Here's Braycheck, I think it is, who's bringing it out here. So there he is, Morell. Scott Morell probably played his last here tonight with 14 minutes left to play. Looks as though he's in a bad way.
Yeah, he's only got one leg and he lost a couple of teeth, I think, the first half as well with that lazy arm.
It's a tough game, isn't it? If you want to keep your looks, you don't play it, do you? That's why I never played it.
Scotty's never been a bonny lad, has he?
Here's Braycheck, ball in the arm, underneath the shoulder, tries to take it on. That was 5. Here comes a 6th. Looking for a kick out of dummy half, just about got it away. There was some pressure being put on there, but it's a good kick, but it is going to topple and bobble away behind the dead ball line for a tap back on the 20 here. They're still looking at element of scruffiness still. I think there's another score in this game, and I think whichever side gets, he's probably come away with the winners. It's a game to be won and lost here. 4 points in it 13.5 minutes to play. Batley from deep with Walton running it in hard again. That's 2 tackles, 4 to go. It's going to take something very special to score in this set. They'll be looking instead to get themselves as far downfield as they can and then get a good attacking kick in. Davis with good hands. They might have other ideas though to try and open them up down the middle. Greenwood gone down with ball in hand. This time it's Rowe again, just thinks about the pass, bounces off and gets the ball away to Black in the first instance. And here's a little chance here, a half break, just about dealt with, but my word, the threat was on there. Mennell back on the field, and Batley looking as though they've got their game here. Black throws it to that left-hand side. It's Morn who gets it on again. A little chip over the top. Good hands and feet by Johnny Campbell. It's got a touch from Halifax. It'll be head and feet from Batley.
Yeah.
That was terrific on that left-hand side, wasn't it?
Play by Ben Black. He sat the defence on, on the heels really when he went to the line and found a long pass. And Campbell, great game. He's found a kick and touched by the Halifax defender for another set.
Heaton probably had to have a punter trying to claim that ball in, and this is the make or break set, I feel, for Batley.
Well, it's a good noise inside this loverugbyleague.com stadium at the moment, because Batley are on the top here as Greenwood tries to track along that Halifax defence. We've not seen him at his electrifying best tonight in terms of making breaks, but he's caused some problems. And here now comes Byron Smith running it in like a steam train. Put down, Mennell from dummy half, across the line it goes. Good hands, well, eventually picked up by Mennell, shows it to Hemingway, then has a go himself, scragged to the ground by a couple of Halifax defenders, and Hemingway starts from here. Off he goes. Oh, it's a good ball, is it? It's forward pass. It's a forward pass. It was juggled anyway by Greenwood. Wouldn't have mattered if he caught it, the referee had already blown.
If they execute that play, it's all over. It is a forward pass, I feel that way, and they've got runners at the line, 3 runners. You see Greenwood's the go-to man there, but the quality of skill required for that pass to hit, what is it, a 20-metre pass from Hemingway's, requires the highest skill, and just hits his toe boots and slightly forward.
So Halifax hanging on just at the moment in these last few minutes have found some relief with head and feet at the scrum. And they'll be looking for just a very solid set here to get themselves downfield and take a bit of heat out of the game. And that's a good little driving effort that has given them some purchase. Well, it's a good set here, isn't it?
Good first 3 players. Good first 3 players. Gets them, almost over halfway.
Thackeray taking it downfield with that Thurn run. There's Barlow, offloads, Braycheck collects, dummies, met by Walton. No way forward, wants to get up and play it, but only 4 gone, still a couple to go here. And they're going to go through the hard stuff as often as they can. Ambler.
Definitely not missing each other, are they? Good game.
Big effort. Here comes the last now. Kick. Up it goes from Handforth. Where's it going to come down? The fullback again has missed it this time. Greenwood, it's got a touch. It's another set. They don't need another set. They will score the try. And that might just be a match winner. Ben Heaton in with a try at the end of some handling errors by Batley. Most notably Greenwood, who let it slip through. And he can retreat to the stands knowing that his side might just have done enough now. Halifax lead 16 points to 8 with a kick to come.
Great kick from Handforth. Great chase as well. I think it's Heaton leading the chase. Greenwood drops the ball. Great hands, and Heaton in the corner there. Heaton started this set with one of the carries that Paul Cook was on about, but there's the drop. I think it might have been Ashall that was on the chase there, and then Heaton finishes off the play with good hands from Robinson in the end. But that's a clean drop with good pressure from Anthony Thackeray that put him under pressure. Robinson gets the hands away to Heaton in the end, but great kick pressure from Anthony Thackeray. Next, Greenwood, he's hear the footsteps and the ball's coming in, he drops it, and for intents and purposes, I think that might just be the ball game.
Well, it's a two-score game now, isn't it, Paul?
They're stuck in there, Halifax, haven't they? They've had very little field position. I think they've been down here twice. Once off a penalty where Handforth goes through, and there's been a little bit of the difference there. He's put the kick up, Thackeray's put a chase on, and great composure by the big fella Robinson as well, who's given the final pass to Heaton to dive over.
And we talk about the mistake by Greenwood, but as you say, footsteps being heard and terrific pressure, wasn't it? As a fullback, that's got to be the most difficult ball to take all night, isn't it?
Well, he knows he's going to get one when he catches it, regardless of if he catches it or not. You know, the fact that he's dropped it and Thackeray on the chase, putting that amount of pressure on, you know, given Halifax an opportunity to extend the lead, you know, to 10 points now.
And here we see the catch. He's under a lot of pressure, but he does drop it cold, as Sharif did in the first half. And Paul Cook's quite right. Robinson has a dexterity of hand to release Heaton in for the score, and they convert the error. And if there's one criticism you'll have of the Batley team, or one credit, if you like, to the Halifax team, is they've defended their own line really, really well when they've had to. And that's kept them in the game. They've been saying all year, we're not this and we're not that, but we're still winning, and it's a habit, isn't it?
Well, it could be 5 out of 5 if they win here tonight. Will be 5 out of 5 if they win here tonight. It's looking that way at the moment. And I tell you what, this is where the bonus point really comes in, doesn't it? Because Batley now might not be in a position to win it, will be desperately anxious to make sure that gap doesn't go beyond 12. What a big psychological blow this would be if Halifax score again and deny Batley even a bonus point, a side that picked up at least a bonus point in every game last year.
I just need a bit of help here from Paul Cook. Does it play on your mind? Are you clever enough to think about that when it's getting towards the back end of a game and you're all tired?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're 12 up, you look for a drop goal to make it 13, especially two teams who are going to be in and around each other on the table, you know, come playoff time, and you know, as these two teams are going to be. So Halifax will be desperate to keep Batley to 0 points as opposed to 1.
Well, Johnny Campbell just putting his hand in the air there because it was his flash of the hands that led to the touch, that led to the ball flying out of play in Halifax's favour. Their head and feet now.
Wicked bounce, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Tough one to deal with.
I think we'll give him that one. He's had a decent dig tonight, hasn't he? He's played very, very well.
He's had a great game.
Well, John Keir will be a little concerned here with 7 minutes left to play. Very proud of that fact that his side never lost by more than 12 points on the occasions that they lost last year, because they didn't lose many either. Oh, and here's a chance. Oh, it's been spilled, and suddenly it's a foot race here. Suddenly Potts has the ball in his hands. Black didn't fancy it. Potts will. Off he goes, Gareth Potts, to score, and never mind a bonus point. There might still be a win in the air here.
This is all on. Steve Tyre has come up with a fumble from the scrum player. You'd think every day of the week, with 8 minutes to go, this game's over. Halifax in possession. Go to the fringes, spill. Ben Black gets the ball, has different ideas. Potts gets on the outside and thinks, I'm finishing this. Oh, game on.
Well, 6 points the difference. 4 if the kick goes over. Couldn't quite hold it, Tyra. I'm not sure that Black was ever going to go the long way, was he? But Potts, my word, he's got some pace, hasn't he?
Good composure by Ben Black there. You know, he finds a pass and then, you know, makes a little bit of a nuisance as himself for Hanforth and asks him to get around him to catch Potts. I'm not so sure Hanforth would have caught Potts anyway, but you know, Ben Black made it equally difficult.
Well, just as we saw there, whether he's running backwards or forwards, he's still fast, isn't he, Potts? Gareth Potts.
It's now you're in a stroller. How good is this game?
Good kick here, big kick here. Good kick needed by Hemingway. Oh, he's missed it! He's missed it! Well, he's having a look at the referee because he felt that was over. But both touch judges put their flags down. And that could be a big key moment here because Batley scored again and kicked the goal. It's all square. So that was a big, big miss. And a big call by the touch judges. Hopefully we can see this again, because that was important.
Convinced it went through, wasn't he?
Here we go, have a look. Well, the ball just disappears, so we don't get the best view there. And you have to say the touch judges do. Well, the referee was having a word with his touch judges as well. Oh, here comes the kick. This needs catching and is. So, after all that drama, 12 points to Batley, 18 for Halifax, 5 minutes left to play. This is still a game in the balance here, Brian Noble.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't back against Batley getting up the field. They'll need that man Johnny Campbell involved somewhere for me. He's looked very dangerous tonight, and Halifax have to go back to the plan that's got them the spoils so far, which they've defended doggedly tonight and got the breaks when they needed them.
Here comes the big fella, Keegan Hurst again, pushing in, just pushing Ambler off in the first instance and managing to carry it really strongly over the halfway line just. But he's down on his knees. It's a long way back up again here. He wants a quick play the ball. He speeds it up as quick as he can. Hemingway to that left-hand side. Here comes Davis, hits it in, and Halifax there waiting. But a good offload, and Hemingway did well to read that. Got in position to make sure he got the catch. But all they do is draw another tackler, and that was the fifth. Here comes the last. What are they going to do here? Just looking for distance. They've still got time to put pressure on Halifax here. But that ball needed to hold up. It doesn't. It's a tap back on the 20.
I'm sure that's the smartest kick with 4 minutes to go, and maybe you try and kick the ball with a view to getting it back.
the retap here. They're not going to be too bothered about having to waste a few more seconds here, Halifax. Ashall eventually takes that tap, and here comes Ricky Sharif. 4 minutes to go. It is still in Halifax's favour, but a little tighter than it was a couple of minutes ago. Halifax just happy to keep hold of possession if they can now. Wanting to eat up the seconds and eat up the yards, get themselves downfield as far as they can.
Strong carry there by Ambler. It's a great carry.
It's a big game tonight, isn't it, Ambler?
Going to have to be thinking about man of the match shortly as well, Brian Noble, so put your thinking cap on. Halifax working hard here to make sure that Batley, when they get it back, will find it deep inside their own half, but Robinson, having made 10, has lost about 8. Good response by the Batley defenders. Braycheto's lost it, Morn picks it up, but he can't keep a hold of it. It'll be the first knock on Batley's head and feed. 3 minutes left to play. Batley should have, all things being equal, possession here, 10 metres inside their own half.
Doing their best to throw it away. Halifax out there, they've gifted possession twice there. Tyra's dropped it cold and given a try away, and then Braychet takes his eye off the ball there and gives Batley decent field position to mount a response.
Carl Harrison looking a little concerned, although that's also his happy look as well, isn't it, to be fair with Carl? And he doesn't show his emotions on his face too often, does he? Here's Black. This now is Walton. Walton offloads to Black again from that tackle. Batley keeping it alive. They are not going to go down wandering here. They're going to keep asking. Bretherton tackled. Here's Mennell up from dummy half. Stout effort by Byron Smith. Another 5 yards made. Mennell collects it. Keegan Hurst. Hurst spinning away, trying to get the arms free. Still going here, Keegan Hurst, but they're hanging on. And in so doing, have just wasted a few more seconds. 2.5 to go. Mennell to that left-hand side, trying to get the ball back on the inside. There's a Halifax man there. It's another knock-on. It's going to be Batley's head and feet here.
Does he knock it down or does he hit him? Certainly a little inside play. They're trying to release Miles Greenwood up the middle. They've stopped the clock on the scrum. Yeah, Dane Manning gets his hand to the ball, and Halifax play keeps it up.
Okay, let's start down.
So these are anxious moments. 20 metres out. 2 and a bit minutes to play. Batley. Now a try and a goal bring them level. And who knows what happens after that. Here comes Walton. Can Halifax hang on again? Their defence at times here has been outstanding. Can they reproduce when it matters the most? Right at the end of the game, Mennell picks it up, spins it out to Hemingway. Hemingway along the line again. Morn is going to be caught in possession. Tackled. Halifax doing their job here. Really working hard at the death of this game. Black takes it in. He tries to thread his way through. The defenders waiting in numbers. Up they go, make the tackle. Back 10 metres, or at least back to the goal line. Spun away to Hemingway. Hemingway with a big ambitious pass. Collected by Walton. Walton comes back in. Against the grain of the defence, tries to get the arm free, does get the arm free, couldn't get it away. Decided it was too dangerous, so here comes the last tackle. Mennell now, huge throw to that left-hand side. Black collects it, Black out left, they've got a space here, they've got a space! Oh, what a try! Johnny Campbell, what a try that was! Absolutely sensational! He knew he had an inch to work in, no more than that, and with the ball in one hand, he's dived in to score a corker. Scorcher, what a try.
What a try, what a finish, what a game this boy's had. He's had a fabulous game. It's a speculator. He throws it as far as he can. Black throws it, misses the Simon who's going to get to. The bounce pass stops the defender. Haynes made a punt on the fringe. Still has to be scored. Johnny Campbell gets the ball out in that one hand and finishes in the corner. He's had a top game.
Kick to come. And boy, is this big. But what a try. Well, as spectacular as that was, and it was, this is massive. What do you reckon, Paul? Where's your money on here? Is he going to kick this?
I wouldn't like to be the touch judges if he doesn't, would you? if he thinks he's kicked the last one. It's a massive kick. Massive kick. Are you going in, Brian? Are we out?
I think he'll kick it. I really do think he'll kick it.
Hemingway.
Pressure's on. Last kick of the game.
For the game. 10 seconds left to play. This will be it. This will be it. So Hemingway with a chance to make it level. Here it goes. Hemingway! Has he put it over? The flags are up this time! He's leveled it! They've got the draw! Hemingway with a kick on the back of a sensational try. What a finish! What a finish! The referee has heard the hooter. The whistle is sounded. And tell you what about that for a great escape from Batley?
Well, they probably deserve half the spoils in relation to the game. There's been a couple of errors. Halifax have been brilliant in the defence and have come up with the plays when they needed to, but what a finish. Great game.
Well, the Halifax fans might feel a little deflated because they thought their side had it, but they'll have come away with a very hard-earned point. But I tell you, it's Batley who are flying high. 18 points to 8 down with less than 10 minutes to play, and 2 tries, 1 long range, the other a spectacular. Paul Cook, what about that for entertainment?
Absolutely amazing. What a game. Yeah, it's dead and buried. 8 minutes to play, it's finished. The game's over, and a couple of individual errors have let Batley back into the game, but you know, the try in the corner had to be finished, didn't it? I think Brian called it. They're looking to get the ball to Greenwood and Campbell, the danger men on their team, and you know, he's finished it with one hand in the corner, a spectacular dive, and what a great kick from the sideline.
Well, I think we can see there that Johnny Campbell's in a bad way. Normally at this time we'd be speaking with the man of the match, and hopefully we might still get a word from Johnny Campbell, who's the Kingston Press man of the match tonight. But what a game. Batley 18, Halifax 18. We'll be looking back on that and speaking to some involved right after this break.